Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Rick, and this is a Factorio video. This is one of my first Factorio videos, so please bear with me, alright? Also, I'm doing this video with the purpose of training my English, so uh, if I mispronounce some words, please bear with me. Alright, I'm doing this video with the intent to share with you one of the building concepts that I came up with in my last two factories. And this is a approach that focuses on building uh, uh, very specific small factories with a dedicated purpose to build one thing uh, uh, per site, per factory. So, for instance, this is the iron ore extraction site, and this is the iron plate melting facility, and this other one is the coal extraction site. So, uh, of course, this is I have just started this factory, and I want to share with you what I plan to do here in terms of building a completely independent factory. Okay, so let's start with the coal extraction site. In this facility, I don't want it to be power dependent on any other place. So I need to generate power in on site. All right. So for this, I need to deliver water to the facility, and I also need to deliver one form of solid fuel. Uh, uh, so I have one station for the solid fuel and another station for the water. Uh, in this case, I only have one more station that's to load coal into the train. For the iron melting place, I will also have not only one site to receive the iron ore, but another station to deliver the iron plates. So I still need to build the iron melting facility here. That is fine. Let's continue discussing the coal extraction. Um, so, unfortunately, because of the train system, I need to have these big power poles so I can communicate with the circuit network. That's unfortunate. I didn't plan that originally. I wanted to be completely independent, but without this, I could not know how many stations need one particular type of research. For instance, here I need to I need let's say water. Okay, I need water. So let's say I have two or three or many stations in need of water. So I need to know how many trains to dispatch based on how many stations are looking for one particular resource. So in order to the train network to function properly, I need the friggin' to be connected with a circuit network, but that I didn't plan that originally. That's unfortunate. All right, so this is the only thing that is connected among them. There is no power connected, nothing. All right, so in the event that this is destroyed, it will only affect this particular. It will not affect any other places, any other small factories. Let me discuss with you guys about these. There's a lot of electronic things going on here, right? So let me discuss with you what they do. In this case, I let's just start with the water. Okay, let's just start with the water. First of all, I need to have these three here to prevent the train to get stuck here, because if the train stops here, this pump will start to work, but there is also water being consumed by the power system. So this will the train will get stuck here, because let's say the train still have 10,000 units of water, 10,000 units, all right, and this system is consuming, let's say, 10 or 20 or 30 per second. So the pump will get stuck. The train will be here until all of the water is consumed, and therefore this train can be late to deliver water to other places. So to prevent that, I have here one very useful system of set and reset. So I will not go into details here, but what this system does is uh, you have a threshold where you define it to be reset. So when I have the info signal here is the average, all right, the average amount of water in each of these tanks. So somewhere here oh yeah, here I am dividing the total amount by 3. So I will output the average on each tank as the info signal. And these other three decider combinators here, they will use the info signal as a to define the set and reset threshold. So in this case, if the average amount of in each tank reaches 24K, which is 1K from the upper limit, it will stop. It will disable these three pumps. So you can see here in the pump, the set signal must be 1, all right, and in order for them to work. So the other decider defines the minimum threshold. So uh, when it goes below 20K, it will activate the signal to enable these three pumps, and also it will enable the station. So it will enable the three pumps, and it will enable the station itself. So you see, it loaded water, turned off the three pumps, and the train, which has a inactivity parameter, can now go away. So why? Because uh, this system is using water. You see, now we don't have 24K any longer. We have 23 now. So the train would be stuck here until it consumes all the water in the liquid wagons. So I need this system to prevent train locking here. Also, why I did not put 25K here? Because it will never reach 20K really. It will always when it starts to delivering water here to fuel up to 25K. This also is consuming water, so it will never be fully fully. You will never reach 25K. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So uh, another thing here that I have is a parameter in these water pumps here. These three are connected to each tank. So in order to this pump to function, the amount of water inside this tank should be equal or more than the average of the three tanks. And why is that? Because I want the three tanks to be consumed evenly. Because if I don't have this system in the output here, uh, this tank will be consumed first, and then when the train arrives, it's gonna take more time to fulfill only one tank. You see, now I'm missing 15K in all three tanks, right? Each one can have 25K. I'm missing 5K each, so I need 15K water in total. If I used 15K only from this one, when the train comes, it's gonna take longer for one pump to deliver 15K here. So consuming evenly help me to use all three pumps when the train arrives. So all the three pumps you gotta will have to unload 5K each. So in this way, I maximize the performance of the entire system. Uh, Here I have a unload solid fuel station, and you might ask, why do I have a qual uh, request station here when this is a coal extraction site? So uh, wouldn't it be easy if I just plug this core prospector into the power system? Well, in the future, I plan to use coal only for what is absolutely needed. So let's say to make plastic, for instance. So I plan to use solid fuel for the power system. So in the future, I'm gonna change the the also this coal here received here is going to be used to fuel all of the trains in all of the three stations. Okay, so in the future I plan to extract coal here and deliver it by train to other small factories. Let's say, for instance, the factory who's going to make plastic, but the solid fuel will be used to power the trains and power and fuel the power system here. So I'm gonna change this in the future. Okay, so let's discuss the circuit network for this receiver station. Um, well, first of all, I didn't want to set the filter explicitly because I want to change it in the future. So I'm outputting the call signal here. So when this turns on, when the set signal here turns on, set equals 1, because I still have the minimum and maximum threshold here, and this is defined here by one arbitrary amount I want in each chest, each one. If I have less than 150 coal pieces, then the system will turn itself on. And if I have more than 200 in each uh, chest, the system will reset. All right, so the system works very well because once it reaches 200, it will only activate itself again when it goes lower than 150. So now we have less than 200, more than 150. So the station is disabled. You can check here, the station is disabled. When the information signal here goes below 150, and you can simply change this at your discretion, just change the number here. The set signal will be outputted here as a positive signal, 1, and this other arithmetic combinator will transform this signal into a call signal, and it will send this to the filter inserters. So it will set call as a filter. It will only load fill, call or here, and it will deliver to the buffer chests. Now, until it reaches 200 average, and then we will stop, and the train, which has an inactivity parameter, will be able to leave the station properly. Um, this system works very well because if you just set like this and you don't have all this intelligence here, uh, the train will get stuck because now I have 42. Let's say it uses 1, it will have 41. So the train will try to replace that one, and the train will never leave, considering it will never be inactive for a longer period of time because it will always be delivered one by one as they are consumed. So this set reset system, the threshold, this 50 pieces threshold, is enough for the train to become inactive for a longer period of time, and therefore the train can leave the station, head for the depot, and go fill some other small factories. Um, okay, let's talk now about the blue inserters here, who will deliver the coal to the system. We'll get from the buffer chest. They will only work if the amount of in this chest is equal or above the average, the info signal here. The average is 189, so this chest has 188, so it will not unload more coal pieces because these two are, probably above the average. Yeah, 194. These two are waiting for more coal to be consumed here, and these will deliver first. Why is that? Why do I want a very, very equal amount of coal in each chest? Because when the train arrives, I always want all of the 12 purple inserters to be working. Uh, that doesn't make any difference here. But let's see the iron ore unload. These chests are full with iron ore. So what happens here? If I have, let's say, if I have, let's say, just 500 here and 2,000 here, what's gonna happen? The one which has 2,000, the purple inserter will fulfill it very quickly and stop working. So I will not have all of them working on the task of unloading the train. So in order for me to always have all of the purple inserters to work simultaneously unloading the train, I need equal amount of ore in each chest. So how can I achieve this? Just by making them work if the amount of each corresponding chest to be greater or equal the average. All right. So uh, what what else needs to be said here? Yeah, this also will disable the station when the reset sign disables the purple inserters. This one will disable the station. Here I just calculate the average. I have 12 chests, 6 in each side, so I divided by 12 and output as an info signal here. And then here I have the loading uh, loading station, right? So here a train which is going to be fully loaded with coal is going to pick up the coal. So let's see here how I managed to make things very, very uh, equal, so all inserters can always work. Same thing here, but here it's the opposite, right? So uh, these inserters here will only load coal ore into the chest if the amount in the chest is lesser or equal the average. So let's say I have 2,000 here and 1,000 here. So the average will be 1,500. So this will be above the average. So these blue inserters will stop loading into the buffer chests, and only the inserters in which the corresponding chests have uh, lower amount than the average, these will be working. Why? Because let's say, when you have just a few prospectors working in the end of the extraction, you're gonna have much lesser coal incoming, so not enough to fulfill all of the chests at the same time. So I want each inserter to load equal amounts of ore into each chest. And why is that? Because when the train arrives and these little bitches here start loading the train, I want all of them to work simultaneously. So the train, it doesn't have like, here's, we have 1,000. So these guys start loading the train first, and then these chests will become empty. And now I have only 6 working here because I had 2,000 here, for instance. So no, I want 1,500 in each. So they are always working simultaneously. Uh, Here yeah, that's basically it. So let me see, what do I have here? The set reset signals here will, let me see what they do. If the information signal is, oh yeah, lesser than 50. mm, I'm really not sure. Let me see what is this. I did this and I can't even remember. So you see, it's a very, very complicated fucking shit. Um, yeah, the information signal is the average of all of the chests. Oh, this is wrong, I think. This is wrong, I think. I don't really know what is this. Why did I put this here? It's a loading station. This will only work if the set signal is 1. If the set signal is 1. Yeah, now I know why. Now I know exactly why. Alright, let me tell you guys why this fucking thing is here. Because I took me a long time to remember because I didn't use or test this yet. Imagine at the end of this traction where I have very, very small quantity of ore or coal ore coming. So what's gonna happen is, let's say I have half half train fully loaded, right? Half train, and then I want this train to be able to leave the station to deliver the half of its content, instead of just getting stuck here while one or other small little pieces of ore slowly come. So I want the train to be able to leave to deliver this half load, because I don't know what situation the other station is, if it's in it's badly needing ore, so it's better to deliver half than leave the train stuck here forever and ever and ever. So the system will disable the friggin' inserters who have the responsibility of loading the train, disable them if the average amount in each chest goes below 50. It will reset them and make them, listen, you can just stop working. Just stop working if the amount of your chest goes below 50. Because of these other ones will feed them evenly. If one goes below 50, it's very, very likely that all went below 50. So they are all going to be deactivated, and the train therefore will be inactive for 5 seconds, enable the train to leave the friggin' station. But the system will only activate itself again when the amount goes above 100. So you see the point here. Let's say, all right, I disabled these guys, and these guys will be slowly loading. So let's say now they loaded 5 more, so now I have 55. If I activate them immediately after they go above 50, these guys will slowly work. They will disable themselves below 50, and they will enable themselves above 50, and they will slowly be loading the train, and the train will get stuck here. So in this using this system, they will be disabled below 50, and they will only be enabled after they go all up all the way up to to 100. So in this way, it will take, let's say, a couple of minutes, whatever. That's enough time for the train to become inactive for 5 seconds and then leave, because I don't know if the station is in bad need of, or the other stations will in very bad situation, desperately in need of coal, so I can deliver half the content, and then by the time the train come back here to pick up more, it is very likely that the chest will have more than 100, even if in a situation that at the end of the extraction where only one few prospectors will be working, because of the others would be depleted. So uh, yeah, that's that. And let me talk a little bit about the trains here, because let me show you guys the parameters for my trains. So the coal trains, we will go to the depot first, and then it will only leave the depot in this case if there is at least one station needing coal. Um, it will immediately deliver the coal to the station, and they are all configured with the same name. So I have two so far, three. I have one up here, solid fuel unload, to power up the iron ore extraction site. I also need solid fuel here to make the iron plate facility to work, and also the coal extraction site itself. So I have 3 stations that receive coal ore. So the train will be stuck here in the depot. In this case, this is the at least one station need coal. This train will leave, and the next train you need to increase by 1. So this train will only leave in the event that a second station is in need of coal. Why is that? Because if you put 1 for both trains, here's what's gonna happen. They will both leave the depot heading for the same station, and the first one, no, here, sorry, here, they will both leave heading for the station here, and the first one will fulfill its needs, and the first one will leave, and the station will be disabled. So if all of my 3 stations are disabled, the second train here will display a no patch, because it's heading for a unload station, and there is none enabled. So the train will be stuck here with a no patch warning, red warning. The train will get stuck here until one of the 3 stations need coal and is activated. This is even worse if the train gets stuck here in the main track. It will block every other train. So it's very freaking important that as you configure a train, let's say the first iron ore train will leave the depot if at least one station needs iron ore. The second train, at least 2 stations. And so with the water, 1, 2, 3. So let me go back to what I was saying. So, okay, let's suppose this train leaves. It will head to the solid fuel unload station, one of the three, until the cargo inventory is empty or if the train is inactive for 5 seconds. So in this case, let's say the train does not have enough cargo to feed your desires. Let's say in my case 200, in your case you can put 300, 500, 2000, it doesn't matter. If the train doesn't have enough coal, as soon as it becomes empty, it will leave the station immediately. If the train has more content than what is needed, uh, then when you reach the higher threshold, the station will disable itself, and after 5 seconds of death, the train will leave. Then, after delivering coal to the factories, it will go immediately to the coal load extraction site until it's full or until it becomes inactive for 5 seconds. So let's think rationally. All right. So the train delivered coal to whatever place it went, and then now it is intending to pick up coal here. Let's say I do not have enough to fill the train. Let's say I do not have enough. So how does this work? When the buffer chests hit lower than 50, it will deactivate all of the loading inserters, and the train will become inactive for more than 5 seconds, and the train will just be able to leave the station and go back to the depot and waiting for the next station to request call. So yeah, this is my system. Let me now speak about one more macro view of the factory. I plan to build small factories for very dedicated purposes. In this case, iron plates. Uh, I will have one for green circuits, but I don't plan to, let's say, now the next step in this factory is to build a military science. So let's see, what do I need for military science? Piercing rounds magazine, grenades, and walls. So I don't plan to build 3 different factories for all of these 3 ingredients and then deliver them to the military science factory. So I'm going to build them on site. So I plan um, to send the military science factory only the raw ingredients it needs. So copper, steel, iron, mainly these 3. And also in this case, I will only need bricks, stone bricks. So yeah, in this case, I might deliver just the stone ore and then make stone bricks on site. So this factory, the next factory, will only have one dedicated purpose, which is to build military science packs. So I'll be picking up these military science packs there and delivering to the factory where the laboratories will be. So you see my point, and every factory have its own power source. So in this case, I'm using uh, steam tanks here for buffer. So I have water, I have solid fuel to heat the water, make the steam, and I have power here. I have everything I need here. The only thing that I need to connect those factories is for the so the trains at the depot knows how many stations are in need of one particular thing. So the depot knows how many trains to dispatch. So let's see how this factory evolves. You might ask, why not build one giant big block factory then? Why make this? Because I always wanted to do this approach. And now that I came up with these circuit network skills that I got from you guys all over the internet, I now I was able to make this function and work very, very properly, very efficiently. So you see, let's see this train here. Is it delivering water? No, it's pick up in water here. This train is the first one to be used. Whenever one station needs water, this is the first train to leave the Home Depot. Now, the depot, sorry, the train depot. So this train went there, grabbed some water. Now the train will park at the depot. See, I don't have any station in need of water now, so all three water trains are parked here. As soon as one of the stations need water, that little beach train will leave the depot. See? One train leaving the depot. Now let's see if we can spot a second station in need of water. I wanted so badly to avoid this interconnection between the factories, but I couldn't. I really couldn't. This was the only way no, because this train did its job here. So now I don't have any stations in need of water, zero. So even if the other two became in need of water, this train will keep doing its job. So yeah, guys, this is basically it. All right, let's see how this factory evolves, and I'll be happy to share my blueprints with you if you're still watching this video. Right? Let's see the book. I have this intersection, cross intersection, the T intersection. Oh yeah, this is very, very, very simple blueprints here, nothing fancy. Okay. Yeah, that's it. That's it for this video, guys. If you like it, let me know. If you want to correct me anything about my English, I'd be happy to check your feedback because I need to improve. I need to improve my English. So yeah, let's see if this little friggin' station here becomes still needs to consume another. Okay, so yeah, one train is handling all three stations now because there no there's nothing working here, right? So it's not consuming a lot of water. I bet that as soon as they become fully occupied, all of these three water trains will be very, very busy. So yeah, that's it. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.